previously on Scrap to Cash, we did the top end oil leak. We also did the fuel pump, which was idling too high, so we adjusted that up. We also found some alloy wheels in the trusty old shed, what we chucked on. Now in this episode we've got more oil leaks to sort out and a good look round the van. So let's jump into it. So as you can see, the sump as well is porous. So I've had a good look around the van. And yeah, we're going to need a new sump. But luckily, it's just a delivery van whizzing past my head. They were cheap, £20 online. As you can see, that's where oil's dripping from. Rock covers, they need sealing. And also, it needs an exhaust, which is a downpipe from the manifold to the, basically that box just there. That goes up to manifold. So, I've ordered these bits, and the part fare has been Quality Clarus welding. Not dinting it, that's euro here. But it were 25 quid, so who cares? But to be fair, sump pan, that were 20 quid off eBay, brand new. Fine. So I'm going to change this first so it gives it time to set. And also, I've just got to strip and clean brakes, grease them up. And there's no playing out, springs are alright. And this headlight is dull, so I'm going to buff that up. I'll show you how to do that. So today I'm going to be using the Milwaukee tools. These are actually really good value. They're better than Snap-on, I believe. I've used Snap-on guns. I prefer these Milwaukees. And this is like the most well-used Halfords kit on planet. Again, I've had this years. I've had 3 of these sets. Thank you, thieves. So we're going to use this electric ratchet to undo sump bolts. Change sump pan, you need a 21mm, and you literally just undo sump plug. So this is tight because I did it last year, but just bear with me. So I've untightened it. No, I haven't. It's still tight. So remember, always use your PPE, always use your gloves. Because oil is a carcinogenic, it causes cancer. Right, so I've undone this plug, and the rest I'll do by finger. So I did put an oil treatment in here, an oil flush, before I run it up to get rid of carbon. And they're a bit tappy. And since I put that flush in, the tappiness has stopped. So we'll drain this, and this goes into a tub and gets disposed of at the recycling plant, according to Kosh. So we don't just leave it down the street or pour it down the street. Oil filters here, so I'm going to whiz that off as well. But I'm just going to see all these bolts up here. They hold the sump on, and they go all the way around. Over there, so we take them off, and then it'll be stuck to the engine, so you just need a pry bar to pry it off. So it's a T40 what we're going to be using, and they just go in there and we whiz all them off, and like I say, it'll be stuck on with sealant. So I'll get all these bolts out. Sorry, I said it were a T40, it weren't, it was an Allen key, 6mm Allen. Alan! These are all grotted up. I might actually have to use a T40 because of corrosion. Some aren't going to be easy. Right. No, it's just spinning. Oh, 1 minute. Let's go back to T. It is a 6mm Allen, but to be fair, a T40 would do job better. So we've got one bolt left, which is the one which is slightly rounded. I'm just going to hammer a T45 in. I had to remove this plate as well, which is the flywheel cover, which is 230mm bolts and a 10mm nut. And that just hangs down off power steering pipes to get to the back bolts. So I'm just going to hammer that in, take that one out, and then I will be using a pry bar to pry this sump off. Right, so the sump's off. As you can see here, this chain, that is the oil pump. And that's your crankshaft. And these here oil pickup. See this here, this gauze, it's a bit carboned up. So what I'll do is I'll take that off and clean it, which any reputable mechanic would do anyway. That's your dipsticks there, sorry, oil level sensors at back, and that's just a drip pipe. But yeah, it don't look too bad. Now what I need to do is, if you see around where sump was, is all this gasket. So I just need to scrape that off, make it nice and clean. I've actually got to go to a part shop now to get some gasket sealer, because I forgot I run out. Silly idiot. Luckily it's only down the road. And this is old sump. As you can see, it looks alright from inside, but these are the porous bits. See them little bits there? Like there. That's the porous bits, and that's what's leaking oil. Nice. Probably say it's original sump, but for 20 quid for a new one, can't grumble at that. So what we'll do is we'll just make sure it's right. So I've put the new sump inside the old sump, and all the holes line up, so we know it's right. Yes, I'm going to have to wipe the sump down, but I'd rather it know it's all right before I fit it. Off to get some more sealant. I'm in Punto actually, funnily enough, which, if you're new to the channel, I did a video on how to fix this padlock issue where the immobiliser would lock you out and it'd throw up ECU faults. So yeah, it's a lovely sunny day, so let's go and get some sealant. This is a very good auto parts shop if you're in the Derbyshire area. Auto Supplies Chesterfield. It's in Bolsover, and ask for Andy. He's a nice bloke, to be fair, and you can have a laugh with him. So this is a bit of a moan, this at Wins. Now Wins product, I like using Wins, it's quite a good product. Wins, why is this £15? It used to be £6. After COVID, or during COVID, price has gone up to £15. So why? But anyway, I needed it, so 15 quid for a tube of silicone basically. So just driving back after being raped by winds. And another thing I want to touch on is the price of PPE. Now I understand we're in a pandemic, we've been in a pandemic for over a year, and the price of blue nitrate gloves, they used to be £6, or not even £6 plus VAT. So you know, you're looking at like £8 max. Guess how much these blue nitrate gloves are now? Oh look, Bolsover Castle. Guess how much they are now? I'm paying £18.50 plus VAT for these gloves. I understand we're in a pandemic and they're a bit needed, totally understand that, but you'd have thought they'd have ramped up production. They are literally raping the system. These companies with gloves are an absolute joke. So as you can see, I've cleaned oil pump off and oil pump goes, and I'm scraping all the old gasket off, so I get a fresh clean seal with the arse raped gasket sealer at silly money. and we'll get the new sump on once I've done this. So basically you just got to scrape all the gasket off so it's a nice finish. It's not going to be a mirror finish, but get it off and then seal it up. That's the surface cleaned and wiped. You're never going to get a mirror finish. I've cleaned this gauze out, like I said, oil pump's nice and clean. Everything underneath here looks actually alright. There's no signs of real wear, to be fair. I mean, that engine cleaner, what I put in, it does a pretty good job. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gasket the sump up. So we'll put a gasket on, then we'll put it up, put 4 bolts in and then tighten them up and just keep putting bolts in opposite each end. So one there, one there, one there, one there, and then work his way in. And leave it set. So with the £1 million gasket sealer, I've put 2 trails around and then I'm just going to bolt it up. Always remember to check, see if your sump plug's tight before you put oil in, because obviously it might be tight, it might not, so always check. And there we have it, a nice clean sump. So I'm just going to change the oil filter, leave this set for a bit, and once I've done that it'll look nice and neat. So we've got a Bosch oil filter. There's not much in price difference, to be fair. It's about 20p more, and I just feel like Bosch are a lot better quality. It's made in Germany. Shame it's not made in UK, but all we're going to do is smear a bit of oil on the seal before we install it, and it just screws on basically, and the old one just unscrews, and that's how you do it. So I'm just going to clean the surface of where the oil filter is. You can't really see it from there. I'm just going to clean that. Always make sure that you've took the old rubber seal off. Sometimes if it sticks onto the wet oil filter attachers, and you double seal them and it just pisses oil everywhere. I've never had it, but I know people who have done it. Seal's been oiled, and it literally just spins on. It's like Beirut round here today. It's usually a quiet little road. So that just tightens up. There we have it. New oil filter, new sump. Give it an hour, and I'll stick some oil in. Otherwise, I'm using Carlube fully synthetic 540 PD, which is mainly used in Volkswagens. These 1.9s, you can pretty much, this is going to sound bad, but you can pretty much stick any oil in them, any thick oil. They like oil, so it's a good synthetic oil. It's probably too good for this engine, to be fair, but it is what it is. So when dipsticking, it holds about 5 litres of oil, this, about 4.8, and we're just slightly above max, which is okay because the oil filter hasn't filled up. Oil's full. Let it tick over for about 30 seconds to get that oil circulating. then what we do is after 4 minutes, 3 minutes, we'll recheck the oil. Now, along with, I did an oil flush and it's had a new sump. Obviously you've just watched the video, but I put this oil treatment in. You can, you can't, you know what I mean. It reduces oil usage, carbon, sludge deposits, blah 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 blah, improves engine compression. It might be snake oil, but to be fair, it's an old engine. You know, this is a 14-year-old van with 120,000 miles on, so we'll stick this in as well. Bang on max after the treatment's gone in. Perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stick around for the next episode, which will be the exhaust and the brakes. And we've got a gator jet wash. It's loppy, absolute loppy. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, much appreciated.